back to 8-Step Forensics for our 8th and last module of our 8 steps, essentially. And today we're going to talk about ballot analysis and editing your performance after a tournament. So essentially what a ballot is feedback, critiques from your judges. Those judges could be parents, college students, anyone who's really sitting in the back of the room with a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper, writing down how they think you did in that round. And there's a lot of things to take into account when really interpreting what they wrote and the feedback they gave back to you. So first we're going to talk about consistency. And by that I mean if you see something positive that you see over and over again, like if you're doing a humorous duo and they said, oh, you were very animated in throughout the performance. That's something you want to continue to do. Maybe you can improve on it if you think you have room for improvement, but also just if you want to just leave it alone and focus more of your efforts towards a different aspect of your performance, then great, do that. But if you consistently see things that are bad on your performance, then you might want to take a look at that and try to change it. So for example, when my partner and I first started putting our duo together last year, we thought having like a really cool dubstep noise to make a transition would be really impactful and great and like a moment. But what we didn't realize was that there was actually like no significance. So we got like 3 ballots in a row back, and one of our friends said that like it was not exactly the best choice that we could have made. So we were like, okay, we need to make a change. And that's what ballots are good for, because you can take both negative and positive comments that you get back, and you can convert those into a positive and growing from that performance. But you want to make sure that if something is consistently coming at you, that you make a change, especially if it's negative. Goal setting. That's really important, because when you have the session and you're with your partner and you're like, hey, I want to really focus on this aspect of this ballot because I think that that's super important. So for example, let's say a judge wrote, your characters are too similar. You guys need to make a change. And I said, all right, my partner's name is Josh. So I said, Josh, we need to, let's say I said, Josh, our characters are too similar, and I want to like, in the next hour, I want to like outline what our characters are all like and make sure that they're all super different from each other in order that so that we can make ourselves better. But in the session, we're going to in the hour that we have, we're going to make this improvement specifically. And then in another time period, in another day, or maybe like later on that day, you can hone in your skills and your efforts towards one thing rather than just making like minor efforts on a bunch of things. Because by making large jumps on singular things at one time, it's a lot more beneficial to the performance. And last but certainly not least, I think it's actually the most important part of this module, is valuing your judge's opinion. So just remember, like, you don't know what happened before you walked into the round. You don't know who your judge is 9 out of 10 times. So 9 out of 10 times you don't know who your judge is. So you really want to like make sure you don't take some comments too personally. Like, for example, if a judge wrote, everything sucks about this performance, everything is really bad, and I didn't like anything, and they were just getting mad at you on your ballot, and you're like, why are they doing this? Just remember, like, you don't know their lives, like, you don't know why they were just being really negative that day or why they're really positive. So everything is really, you want to take everything with a grain of salt. And remember, I would say most of the time, especially if you're competing on a local circuit, these are just, a lot of times they're just going to be parent judges. And parents sometimes don't know exactly what they're doing when they're judging. And you want to take that into account. If someone's making like really mean or negative or just simply incorrect comments about your performance and about you as a performer, don't take that to heart. I mean, they're just people living their lives just like you. So you want to just make sure that you don't become too sensitive because of a ballot. Just because remember, we're performing to have fun and to make a difference in the community. So if someone wants to make a negative comment because they're having a bad day, so by all means, let them do that. But you just want to make sure you don't put too much effort on singular comments, because you never know like what someone's motive was to make a certain comment. So with that, I hope the last 8 modules were really helpful, and I look forward to seeing you guys all do really well on the circuit next year.